What's up? This is T, host of the ChoppedByT podcast. And if you're watching this right now, you need to get your merch. You need to get your merch. You need to get your merch. All you have to do is go to www.choppedbytpodcast.com. Again, that's www.choppedbytpodcast.com. Get merch. We got shirts. We got sweaters. I know it's hot right now, but shit, eventually you're going to need that. We got hats. We got all of that shit. Anything that you can want. Go get it. Go get it. Go get it. Thank you. Vinny, how you feeling?
Man, feeling good as I can, shit. But that's good, you know. I always try to stay positive.
Man, we back for a take two. I fucked up. Yeah, I fucked up. We back for a take two, but shit, we back. And it feels good to be back. It's always a blessing to be able to sit down and do what you love. I always say anyway. Even if you're not monetizing it quite yet, like fully anyway, it's always good to sit down and do what you love. I was, like I told you off camera, I had went and took my son to daycare this morning. And on my way to daycare, like, I just was in a funk. I was in a fucked up mood, I'll be honest with you. And it was because, like, I woke up this morning feeling lackluster and not creative. I was struggling to try to find my creativity. Like, what does that look like for me? Do I even still need to be creative? Do I need to conform to, like, social constructs or social ideas of,
What you should be doing.
yeah, like it's, I could go back and get a degree in this and this and this and be this suit and tie or whatever the case may be, or I can keep doing what I'm doing. Well, the revelation that I had, or the ultimate like realization that I had, is that I can be creative. I can be creative with and still do the suit and tie. I just have to find a way to mesh my passion with business. And it's a fine line between that. And my biggest fear in that, and when I came to my biggest fear out of that, is that once I do that, it will make me like hate the thing that I once loved.
Yeah, I get them feelings too.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely feel that. I know I've been hearing a lot lately. Just going off what you saying, like how you know what I'm saying. Sometimes I wake up and I'm in that same exact mood. But they say like where, creativity or motivation, where you lack in that, you know what I'm saying, that's where discipline, you got to make up in discipline.
You got to make it up in discipline. I heard that shit. I just heard that recently, actually.
Yeah, me too.
Like,
so like, damn, this
like
this
on some
was
social
perfect
media
time.
shit. Maybe you posted that shit. Did you post it on your story?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, that's what it
Yeah,
was. You
little
posted on your
TikTok or something.
story, and I went and looked at the shit. Like, you got to make up for it in discipline. That shit's so true. You got to make up for it in discipline and just hard work. That's why I be telling Sco all the time, with this shit, you got to have an obsession with this shit. With anything that you're doing, you got to create an obsession. Almost an unhealthy obsession.
Okay.
You look back and you see Jeff Bezos, you see him like damn near going bald. It's a little famous picture with Amazon on the poster board in the back. Everybody done seen, like, this man going crazy. He going hard. Like, his hair falling out. Shit ain't working for him. It's obvious shit fucked up. Now look at him.
Man, really, that shit, it's hard to discipline yourself too though. I'm gonna be real, just cause like especially when it come to writing something, that's almost like I couldn't be no author like who writing a book, just cause I feel like, man, if I get stumped in the wrong spot, I'm gonna mess around and not do nothing. But like, I write short films, and I'm actually working on one now, but like, even that, I had to touch it, come back to it, touch it, come back to it. But I always make sure just to keep locked in, why did I start this in the first place? And if I stop now and turn back, look at all that progress that I just left behind. So I don't know, I try to keep that in mind whenever I'm doing what I'm doing, regardless of, like where the numbers might be, who listening to it, you know what I'm saying? Because them 17 people that just watched or listened to my song, them 17 people, that might have changed 17 people's lives. Like,
Yeah.
you never know. So it's just like.
And them 17 to put on for your ass too.
sure.
Them 17 to create 1,700
Be
easily.
the strangers, bro.
Yeah.
Don't be the people that be close to you. Be the strangers that really fuck with you the hardest. And that's what's crazy. Like, I just think that's funny as hell. Like, people don't support. People that support a nigga that ain't never met in their life, probably ain't gonna never meet them. And if they do, they seeing them from probably like 50 feet away in the crowd. Like, whole time you got a homeboy down the street down there doing the same thing, but in a better way. But solely off the strength that he ain't on yet, he ain't got no money, I ain't finna. Not the way, bro.
This should be crazy. Do me a favor, move that mic just a little closer to you, just a little bit. Yeah, that's yeah. But like, nah, you absolutely right. And I told him, I said this not too long ago. If you got a motherfucker in your space who you deal with, who you know, he the one. Like, I got faith. It's just, that shit really sometimes be rooted in some hating ass shit.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if you got a motherfucker in your space, right? A dude who you know, like, man, we pour into this little nigga. He got it. Whatever it is, he got it. Everybody know who the one out there click got it.
Mm-hmm.
He got it. We pour into his ass, then he can take us to the place to where we want to be.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the times we don't want that though. Like, we want to be the big dog, the boss.
Like we was talking about the other day.
Yeah.
Niggas get caught up in like not playing roles. Like people forget that it's, you know what I'm saying, and as harsh as it may sound, I don't know if you watch Donald Glover's TV series Atlanta.
I watched some of the first season.
He said in the first season he was like, man, it's just fucked up to think that some people got to lose for other people to win.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I'm one of them type of people. If I do win, I don't really see no losers. You know what I'm saying? I don't ever try to walk in the room and feel like, oh, I'm the best nigga in here. Like, I might feel like that, you know. This how I carry myself. That's how you should carry yourself. You just feel like you the shit. But at the same time, like, man, we all on the same playing level. But especially when you got a team, you got to recognize where you play, how you going, you know what I'm saying? Because you might have something that dude don't have, but that's still beneficial. That's gonna help everybody eat at the end of the day. But people don't think like this, so
yeah. And a lot of times people allow their egos to get in the way. I'm gonna tell you a little story about one of the guys. He working with our merch now. He doing our merch. His name is Cub. And if you're watching this right now, but to this point, make sure you go get that merch. But it's www.ChoppedByTpodcast.com. I had to go ahead and plug that.
for sure.
But he worked with our merch and shit like that, and I told him, like, he wanted to do a Father's Day sale. So I'm like, all right, cool. I kind of, like, sit hands off and just, because he's still in the stage where he need to, like, bump his head a little bit. We got a system in place to how we move our merch, but he is in a space where he needs to, like, learn, and he can't learn by me saying, hey, do X, Y, and Z. The only way he can learn is make the mistake, then he come back, and I say, hey, bro, you didn't do that shit right. You need to do X, Y, and Z moving forward. Use your mind. But the story that happened is he wanted to do a Father's Day sale, and I fucked around, and I was like, oh, okay, cool, let's do that. And I thought nothing else about it. Well, on Father's Day, he dropped, use promo code HFCBT22, which is Happy Father's Day, ChoppedByT 22. He said, use that promo code and you can get 10% off. And he posted it, and it was just downloaded pictures offline. Some downloaded picture on Google that said Happy Father's Day. I deleted the picture, called him and said, that's not good. I said it's not good for a couple reasons. One of which is that picture. Aesthetically, that picture doesn't look good, and it's not on brand. You got just a random picture that you pull down. If anything, it needs to be something that caters towards us and our brand. Even if it's the same font as our logo mixed in, where you might throw our logo on there, you might cut out actual pieces of our merch to use to put on that picture. It has to be on brand, and people can see it and be like, oh, that's ChoppedByT.
Because people just gonna see Happy Father's Day
and just move on. Yeah. And I think that's what probably 90% of the people who like that post, because it was up 5 hours. 90% of the people who like the post, that's what they did. Just seen Happy Father's Day, moved on. I said, so that's one thing. The second thing is you put all the important information in a caption as opposed to putting it on the picture. So you've never seen a sale, 4th of July sale, whatever sale, where it didn't have on the actual post or on the brochure or on whatever you're looking at, it had it on there. It might have some other fine print at the bottom or within the caption or whatever, but on the post it say 10% off, use promo code so-and-so, so-and-so, all on the post. You can see all the information that you need on the post, website, all of that on the post. I said, you didn't do that. And I also told him that that Happy Father's Day ChoppedByT is an acronym that's too confusing. It's too many words. Most promo codes that you see for Black Friday, they'll be the most popular one that you'll see is Black Friday. The name, Black Friday. Use promo code Black Friday and get however many percentages off or whatever, so on and so forth.
So promo code Father's Day.
And I told him last but not least, where else you fucked up at is you posted it on Father's Day. It's gonna take
Not the day before.
and really not even the day before.
Like
Most
something
sales you gotta start a week or two before.
Yeah.
And you know, there's that, and I see it. It's like the small inclination. It's this little piece of him as a man, as a black man. We always got to be on defense. We always got to fight. He wanted to fight, and then ultimately, he realized like, oh, T ain't doing this like to attack me, but he really doing this shit to try to like educate me, and he wanted to fight, but then he was like, fuck, bro, everything he said was right, bro. And I was like, I know.
But it take a real nigga to understand his mistake too though. Like, but at the same time, yeah, that definitely come with the turf. Like learning, like even if you feel like you mastered your craft, bro, it's new shit. Like
Always.
LeBron been in the league down in 20 years. It's new shit that he do every season. Like he started off as a slashing shot creator, if you want to say. That nigga turned into a playmaker.
A playmaker.
Like, that shit is always different shit you can add. So yeah, learning process for sure.
Yeah, and I always use sports. I use Kobe. Like it's camps that he went to strictly to work just on his left hand. He went through the whole camp only using his left hand. That's where I'm at with it. Like I tell people, I was discussing a thing about stocks and everything with my young boy the other day. I was like, bro, like you don't understand. I read a book from a guy named Graham who was the mentor of Warren Buffett.
Shit, yeah.
But anyway. Warren Buffett, he was Warren Buffett's teacher, Graham was, and he wrote a book called The Intelligent Investor, right? And in The Intelligent Investor is, he basically just break down everything that it takes to be like, you know, a sound investor or whatever. And I studied the book a whole year. I got the audio book and I got the physical copy of the book in my phone. I still got it to this day. And I studied it. One chapter, take notes, sit with it for, you know, days, weeks if I needed to, if I didn't understand it. Certain words I didn't understand, go back and look those words up. Certain terminology I didn't understand, go look it up. From front to back, I studied this book. And then I went into investment. And I'm sitting up trying to have a conversation with him about these investments or whatever. And I'm telling him, I'll be talking to him or I'll say something to him, and it's other motherfuckers who want to feel as important around, and they may fuck around chime in like, I almost had a thing to tell them like, "Hey, shut up."
Like you ain't talking about shit.
Listen. Like listen for a second, because I know you want to feel just as important in this moment, but you have to listen to what's being said because I'm about to educate you as well. He's tapped in. He want to see, you know. So I'm like, I'm educating you as well, and I'm not speaking from a place of arrogance, you know, self-centeredness, none of that old bad shit that people like don't fuck with, none of the fucked up shit about people. I'm speaking from a place of a person who did the work. I took a year off.
Yeah, this ain't.
Receive it, understand it, and apply it, you know. And I'm giving him the game. I'm like, what he asked me, what would you do at the age of 23? I said, me personally, at the age of 23, I would invest in an ETF of probably a specific Vanguard. They got a good history of putting out pretty like good ETFs, and I would go one that mirrors the S&P 500. And you know, they on average, the S&P 500 has grown 10% every year. So I would take that and just invest in there, just 10% every year. That's what I would do at 23. Yeah, just strictly doing that, and I would take 10% of my income out of every check and put that into one of those. 10% towards that, and put it out of every check and put it towards that. And I said from there, you know, you do that for the first 2 years, but during them 2 years, you don't just sit on your fucking thumbs. During those 2 years, you continue to learn about investing. That way you can start investing in maybe more riskier stock because you understand how to sit down, analyze this business, how to do the work, and you can gain a good perspective of which business is a sound business to invest in. And I think that shit expands the creativity as well. You know, like you have to jump into it, and from there, slowly build on your craft. You told me that when you first started, you just knew how to rap. Now you know how to do a lot more.
Yeah, it's like seriously, when I really didn't, when I first started writing, I didn't even want to rap. It wasn't even like I wanted to write for real. It was just like we had to do this assignment in class, so they turned into, damn, okay, hey bro, rap on this song. Like you already write rap. Like, okay, so I didn't really like my voice, man. Ended up doing that shit in college. I was like, all right, bitch, I got a knack for this shit. And I was like, well, I kind of like you saying the other day, you kind of like
starting poetry.
Yeah, well, it's more like how you have a knack for wanting to know how to do everything by yourself. Because I felt like, you know, the fact that I was around the team that I was around, I couldn't really just necessarily do everything by myself, and I didn't like that shit. I don't like relying on niggas. I don't like asking nobody for shit. So when it came down to that, I was like, okay, let me watch somebody do this, that, and the third, and then maybe I get, because when you learn to produce and you already an artist, you know exactly what you want to hear on the song. You know exactly how you want it to go. You ain't gotta say, hey, I'm thinking I want this today, and then they give you a whole nother idea you won't even think about, and it's not good to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just the beauty of it. So, man, like, I just learning just in general, like what you were saying, just about niggas just trying to be important in the room, bruh. And I just, like, this probably one of my biggest flaws. Like, growing up was that I always wanted to talk back. Like, that was my thing. Now, don't get me wrong, getting popped in the mouth a couple times definitely stopped me. But I'm saying, like, I just want the last word type shit. So it was just like, I just noticed that how important it is to shut up and listen. Like, when they told me that when I was young, I'm like, bro, okay, shut up and listen. That's all that was said to me at the time. But I didn't really analyze what they were saying. Like, shut up and listen, as in, bro, it might be some useful information that these folks got to say to you, but simply because you want to run your mouth, you might miss the whole idea. And there's certain shit you gotta digest, and then there's some shit you gotta discard. But you would know what to digest or discard if you don't listen. So it's just, that's all a part of that shit.
And I think in these situations where we in this like group think setting where we all having conversation, everybody has their place in the conversation. I'm fully aware of my weaknesses in the conversation, but it's gonna take me all of 5-10 minutes to realize that, oh, you don't know what the fuck you talking about, especially if I know. Like with music, if you gonna sit down and talk to me about music and I'm faking the funk right now, you gonna be able to pick me apart. You gonna pick me apart. Because I don't know shit about producing and all that. You gonna be like, this nigga don't know nothing about producing. Like, he just saying shit. But I can do that as well in the room when we got people sitting down, and it's like, bro, what's the point in faking it? I think as black people too often it's this competitive shit that we try to do with one another. Like, who's the richest broke person? You know, that's what we do with each other, and it's stupid, it's ignorant, because if we get together in these group think type of settings, I used to call it a collision of the minds. That's what we would do, me and all my guys, and we would sit down, and any information that I had learned that week, I would share it. I would literally sit down and share, this is what I've learned. And I will wait for a person to challenge that, and challenge doesn't always mean oppose either. It's challenge that information, whether it's ask me for additional information to prove that I know what I'm talking about, or present even further information to add on to what I'm saying, because you can give me a better experience in that. And that's the type of conversation I like amongst people. But too often is, you know, I may say something profound, like, to the moment, to whatever person may be in the room. But ultimately what happens is that person will, or that person, they'll receive it. It's profound. It's like, oh my God, like, bro, you really own it. You changed my life with that word just right there. And then you had this other person in the room who was equally respected, because everybody respected in the room. It's equally respected, or out of arrogance and self-centeredness, like, they will say some shit. You valued in this room, but you just gonna pull some shit out your ass to say, strictly,
you want to be important,
strictly to feel important. You want to be important right now, but what you don't understand is that person who received that information that was profound to them, you just suck the energy of that out of them in that moment by saying dumb shit. Shut up sometimes. And that's what I do. I shut up. Like, I love listening to OGs. The mother of my child, I mean, not the mother of my child, her father, the mother of my child's father. So my baby grandfather, he called me the other day, and he was just sitting up having a conversation. He called me on Father's Day, actually, and he was just talking to me. We was sitting up having a conversation. You know, me and him, we mesh well. We both military guys. We both, like, you know, like, we real close. You know, like, even if we don't talk, like, I know I can come to him. He a solid dude. You know,
type shit.
And we met under fucked up circumstances too. My first time meeting him was to tell him that I had his daughter pregnant. My first time meeting him was saying, "Hey, bro, I got her pregnant, bro." Like, he's like, he wanted to fuck me up too. You should have seen his face. He old me. He looked like he'll fuck a nigga up too. He did a bunch of years in the military. He been through a lot of shit. Like, I'm like, fuck. if this man fucking kill me right now, he got a reason. He can say PTSD and they gonna let his ass off. Like, but he was just a solid dude. You could tell we cut from the same stalk and shit. It was like almost weird. It made sense to me why she liked me or why she loved me so much. Like, damn fool, I'm your fucking dad. Damn, man. We gel real well, and I just love listening to him talk because he's successful. You know, he got businesses. He got businesses. Well, he got a lot of real estate, a lot of property and shit. Like, they ain't gonna put too much of stuff out like that. But, you know, he do well for the most part. And he just always giving me game on life shit, things that I want, so on and so forth. And what he told me is just be still. You know, he told me, like, hey, bro, like, you got it. Stop fucking around, though. He don't curse, so he ain't say fucking around. But he basically just telling me stop fucking around. He's saying, you got what you need already. You got the tools, but you spend too much time working on doing other shit when you really need to focus on all the things that matter. And I'm like, damn, that's such some obvious information, but it's so important to my moment right now. Like, yes, I am spending a lot of time fucking around on unnecessary shit when I really just need to focus on the things that I love and pour into those things. And then he even followed up with an example. You know, he was like, it was time when I had X, Y, and Z. And because he had X, Y, and Z business, shit was pouring down on him. Like, he was like, fuck, I got this going on. And the money was tight. And he was like, at the moment, it didn't make sense. And it was a thing in me that wanted to be like, fuck it, I'm finna quit. I can just do with just this thing over here. But he was like, nah, I stayed the course. And now I'm reaping the benefits in a major way later in the years. And I think that's what all things, creating everything. Right now, while you creating your music, you never know. Your music, Vinny, it may not do anything ever, right? It may not do nothing. You may not ever get successful in anything. But your little boy, your little girl is going through the music and like, damn, that's my dad. Like, and she listening to it like, this kind of feed my soul right now. It's already, and she gonna have a bias. He or she gonna have a bias because they like, this my dad. I love him. It's like, I'm listening to it. Damn, this sound good. And you spark her. I think Pac said it, or I know Pac said it. I might not be the person to change the world, but I'll impact the person that will change the world if I don't. And you can do that through your music with your children or somebody else kid.
Nah, I feel that shit already. I keep like, that's why I never get caught up, like I said, in numbers or, you know, streams and no shit like that. Just cause, man, like I remember it wasn't necessarily my first shit. Cause I say when I first got to college, my sister was a little too young to be listening to what the hell I was rapping about. But now that they older and shit, man, they every time I drop something, they on that shit.
They putting on.
And it's like, I'm telling you, they FaceTime me one day. I'm talking about, dog, knew the song
word for word,
front to back, bro. I'm in that hole like, what? Like, so just that right there, them being my sisters, even though, yeah, I do know they love me. Of course it's going to be unconditional already, but off the strength that this song I love, but they love what I love. They love what I do. So that shit just, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit right there alone just already give me some type of, you know what I'm saying, some type of juice. And it's like you were saying about, like, being still, that's some important ass shit, just cause, like, whole time while you scrambling trying to find out where you need to go, that shit under your nose the whole time. Just cause you don't want to stop and look around, like, really evaluate where you at, what you got going. Yeah, that's important as hell, like, for sure.
Man, we talked not too long ago. You got your first start in poetry. That's how you got into music.
Hell yeah. Started that shit middle school. Went to high school, and then like my junior year of high school, this dude wanted me to get on the beat with him because he heard I do poetry. And I was like, man, I ain't never rapped before. He was like, fuck it, just get on. Man, got on that joint. End up, man, passing through school, man, like a couple days. Swear to God, it was the Friday after we dropped that joint. Man, niggas passed me in the hallway, called me, hey, what's up? Da-da-da-da. Like my name at the time. I'm like, nigga, how you, what?
Yeah.
He said, yeah, fool, my nigga was bumping your song in the car the other day. That junk bumping, bruh. I'm like, nigga, this is crazy.
Yeah,
man. I ain't
crazy.
never did this before. So didn't really much happen after that, man. Got to college, man. I ain't never looked back. Like, just something that's very, like, I say this shit all the time. I would die behind every lyric I done laid and will, like, bruh. Like, that shit it's a different type of feeling, making music. And just, like, that shit a part of me now. I feel like it's almost like a necessity, just like we drink
Yeah.
water, eat food. Goddamn, I feel like that shit a necessity. Like,
Yeah. So you know, like I told you, I done sat with the music a lot, and I do enjoy it. I do think you talented for sure.
I appreciate it, bro.
And so I listened to a lot of your first album. It's album, right? You would call it album?
Yeah. Moth was
Moth.
the album for sure. Yeah.
I listened a lot to Moth for sure. You could tell that was you in the early stages. I think we talked about. I was like, you kind of sound like Big Sean.
Hell yeah.
But moving forward to your newer projects, because you more now, you've been in it, you seasoned in it, you know what you're talking about, your aim, where you want to go with it. Like, what's the direction moving forward now? Because you got a new project coming out, right?
Right.
Well, first, before we even jump into that, you did another project that you said that was about a breakup.
Hell yeah. This called Summer's Over.
Summer's
EP.
Over. Let's talk about that.
Man, Summer's Over is essentially just like, it's almost like a love letter to your ex saying, like, damn, you fucked me up. But I'm straight though. Like, I'll be all right.
What she do?
Man, it was a lot of fuck shit, and I ain't gonna act like, you know what I'm saying, she was the only perpetrator, but I guarantee you, like, when it come to what the score was on who was really fucking up the most, she definitely up about 30. But, man, she really, just to summarize it all, like, we started off cool. We was friends, and then, man, met in college, was, like, literally stuck like glue. Man, COVID happened, separated us, but we were going through shit before then, but that made it worse. Man, this summer of COVID, bruh, probably like one of the worst periods in my life, just because like I had like acute bronchitis. I thought it was COVID the whole time. I had anxiety, and I wasn't clinically diagnosed at the time, so I didn't know what the hell was going on. So anxiety can onset sickness too. So I'm having chest pains almost every day, bruh. Not even thinking if I'm gonna wake up the next day type shit. Bruh, all that compiled with working at night, so my circadian rhythm off, like, facts. I'm supposed to be up during the day, sleep through the night, you see what I'm saying? All that while trying to hold together a falling apart relationship. And man, she just left me when I need her the most. And that shit humbled me for real. Like, just for real, it put me in a space, cause like once all that shit happened, it was almost like once I moved to Murfreesboro permanently, it was like, nigga, everything just started, like, everybody just started dipping, like, leaving just on some fuck shit. Like, I was into it with my mama didn't even talk to her for probably about, like, 4 months, 4 months. Man, losing friends, like, not talking to friends. I would damn near broke as hell. Like, only way I was, moving was because I had the job from the summertime. But, man, it was just so much shit going on, and I did not know. I ain't gonna say I don't know how to express my feelings in a way that I can communicate it, easily for people to understand. But the easiest way for me to express myself is through music, through writing. You know what I'm saying? Because this shit is pure passion, bro. It's like, I was telling I was on another podcast with one of my homies. Just let him know that shit is nothing like anything that I put out before, because I wasn't afraid to talk about how fucked up I was. Cause most niggas, they scared of that shit. We scared to talk about our feelings. Like, rappers nowadays, nigga, not even just rappers. Like, you go into a party nowadays with my age group, you know what I'm saying, like 20 to 25. Bruh, it's gonna be at least 2 groups of niggas that spent thousands on fits, came in there with backwoods, probably got on ski masks, that's in that motherfucker in a circle just like that with they niggas. Yeah. Bruh, it's females all over the floor. Like, what did you, like, just that aggression that we carry for no reason. Like, Kendrick talked about it with so much emphasis, and I forgot what song it was specifically, but he was just saying, just like, why the fuck do I gotta act tough all the time? Cole said it in off season. He was like, nigga, I gotta put on this hard act for everybody, knowing good and well once I leave, nigga, I want to cry. Yeah. Like, just because I had to fake it with them just to fit in type shit. But me, like, I've always been emotional, and I've always been passionate about me being emotional. I've never felt like it was a time where, like, if I cried, that shit made me soft. Now, don't get me wrong. Of course, you had to grow up and just realize, damn, come on, fool, don't trip about that shit. But that right there, it was basically, like I said, like, me not tripping about it. So, man, I produced that whole jump myself. That was like I said, I don't like asking people for shit. That was probably the first tapes that I produced, like, completely by myself, except the bonus track. But I just wanted to show niggas, number one, I can do this shit by myself. But number two, look, I'm hurt. And I feel like a lot of the shit that I was talking about in a lot of the songs that a lot of people can relate to. It's definitely, I ain't gonna say it's my favorite project, but it's for shit show like one of my most like open and just most vulnerable projects. But just moving from that shit, yeah, I got another John dropping song, another EP dropping Friday. Well, this ain't gonna come out Friday. June 24th. It's gonna be all platforms. It's called Images EP. It's a collaboration between me and my homie Isaiah from Earth. He from Memphis. He graduated from White Station. I actually met him through one of my good homeboys that I'm gonna put you on to. He real cold, like do his own thing. He been rapping since 15, and if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't even be rapping for real. Like he introduced me to like record and how to record, like what to do, you know, how to be there. And man, when I say it's like short and to the point, like one thing, like we was talking about haikus the other day.
Yeah.
Like that shit. First off, rapping and poetry is intricate simply because how can you use the English language better than me? You see what I'm saying? Like in a way that I could still understand, but like, damn, I wouldn't have thought of that shit. You see what I'm saying? Like, but it's so concise. Like it's probably only one. It's the longest song is probably like 2.5 minutes. But with that being said, it's 6 tracks, so it's just like it ain't no hooks, no choruses, no nothing. It's just straight to the point, and it's straight bars. Like niggas like really forgot I can rap. Like, you know, I sang a lot on that past album, so it was like niggas like, okay, you do that. Like, don't get me wrong, women is the crowd. Like, and I'm always put on like I don't step out go to no party to look tough in front of no niggas. Like I'm trying to Mac, what's up? Like, but that's just piece it. But on the other side, like real deal, I want to show people like this is what I do, like essentially, and I damn near cried when I was playing the final mixes together just because I was like, I'm at the point where I'm making the music that I've always wanted to make, but not only that, I'm doing something that I didn't even know that I always wanted to do, but now it's all I want to do. So it's just like just understanding it and just seeing all this shit come together. Man, shit is just, it's straight like old school hip hop beats, like shit that you'll hear like Nas or Biggie rapping over, like shit like that. But don't get me wrong, like I got my own little twist to it. But y'all gonna see what's up with it, like.
Yeah, and by the time this come out, it'll already have been out. It's gonna drop that Friday, so we'll drop this on that Sunday.
Shit, 'cause my birthday the next day, that'll work.
Oh yeah, so it'll be the day after your birthday when it's just drop. When a actual interview with you or the podcast with you drop. Man, I wanna actually go back to even your first project. We're gonna go not your first project, but the what is Summer's
Over.
Summer's Over. I wanna go back to that one real quick.
For sure.
So because you said a lot just then as you was talking about it, but one of the things that really stuck out to me is in the moment that you was going through a extremely stressful point in your life and you decided to put out a piece of work. Was it strictly the vent or just because the project, it seems like the name kind of coincides with like what you wanted to get, like
that was am I cutting
no
you
no
off?
no go ahead
No,
you good.
Essentially that shit. Okay, so Kendrick said this shit in the interview like some years ago. He was like, bruh, when it comes to artists, creatives in general, our years I couldn't have just because we have to dedicate our lives to other shit, the important shit, but then again we have to dedicate our lives to the shit that we actually love and that we want to do. So it's like when it came to that, I feel like just being consistent, like annually, I feel like they need to hear from me. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I'm not the type to just show my face all the time. I don't want to be out there. I don't want to be the person that's on TikTok just entertaining all the time. But at the same time, I feel like they ain't heard me since I've been on campus. So I mean, I feel like, you know, I ain't necessarily think about other people when I was making this joint. Yeah. I think that's why it was so personal. Cause
this newest project.
Summer's Over. Summer's Over was just really was really personal. I didn't give a fuck. Like literally, I said shit about my pops in that joint. Like the first song is intro Mama's Boy. Like I'm a mama's boy for sure. But I talked about my pops on there, like the homies that was getting shiesty on there, like my ex, of course, and niggas hating niggas on the side. Just like it was a bunch of shit going on. Like just, but I kept it so real that I wanted people to be able to listen to this shit and be like, damn, I probably never say this shit out loud, but this is exactly how I feel. Like this is what's really going on. Like, but he said it though, so I feel comfortable enough to where I can possibly come out and say, hey, shorty, I feel this way about our relationship, or hey, dad, I don't really like where this going with us, or you know what I'm saying, just you know, just being able to be like relatable type of deal, and like we was talking the other day, like even though it was super super personal, I still wanted to make it a thing where like other people could be like, damn, I'm in this nigga's shoes right now, or I'm in my own shoes, but I definitely dig what this nigga stepping in for sure.
Yeah. My first book, and this is the part 2 to it. There was the Curse Ones, and that's the Curse Ones too. That's all poetry, right? So in that book, the Curse Ones, the read. Yeah. This first one is all poetry, but this one, To Be Human, is the third one was To Be Human, which is that's the book of me controlling myself. It's the basically, so it's a sequence to the book. So it's the Curse Ones and the Curse Ones too. So the Curse Ones, initially it was, I like to play with names like that too. My whole thinking behind the Summer's Over is like, all right, summer's over. This has been a hard spot in my life. Summer's over. It's done, and this is all done. I'm getting it out all on this shit. Is done with. You know. So that's what is that.
That's exactly what the fuck
okay,
it was.
Okay.
Like all that bullshit. It's almost like going through a little, like right after winter, you go in the spring. You gotta clean up the house. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to clean house, and sure enough, like after I dropped that album, like 2021 was a motherfucking lit ass year. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
And shit, like
And so that was the meaning behind it. And that was pretty much the meaning behind my books as well. Like so this is the Curse Ones. Like I used to think like, fuck, I gotta be cursed. Like why did I come into these circumstances? Not only am I from this small ass town with nothing going on, but you know, crime and all this other shit, and people not really like taking the time out to educate themselves and shit. So not only am I coming from that, but I'm black.
Yeah, all this shit combined is like
I'm poor for the most part, you know, just right above poor, like, and it's like we definitely checking it, you know. Sometimes it might be short if some shit happen. It's like, why the fuck am I going through all this? And it was just all in my life up until this point. I found myself, you know, I wrote that when I was 15, so and I published it when I was 19 in college. I just
that's major.
Yeah, so I went on here, self-published it and shit, and it's just like that's what it was. And then, you know, the Curse Ones too was more so just about me being like an older adult now, finally figuring out some of the meaning behind the things that was going on. But To Be Human is, hey, from all of that shit, no matter what, it's I am the master of my fate. That's why you see me.
Can't nobody control what the fuck you got.
And that's what it is to be human. Like, that's why you see me. I'm the puppet and the puppet master on the front of my book. It's me controlling my own fate. And that's what I'm going to do moving forward throughout my life. So I like the meanings behind stuff like that. And I think that with that project, I would, if I could, you know, speak for you for a second, I would think that was you basically saying like, hey, it's over with. It's done. Like, I said what I had to say. I said the way I feel, and I'm moving forward from there. And the following year after that, you said it was a lit year, huh?
Yeah, bro. Like, I'd like to just go off of, like, just sayings. Like, you know, I rap in phrases, so it kind of makes sense. But somebody told me a long time ago when I was a little kid, man, the longer the rain, the taller the grass grow.
Facts.
So I'm just thinking, like, you know, when you in a dark spot, you don't see the next couple weeks, my nigga. You thinking about the next 3 hours. Like, what the fuck? Why am I feeling like this? How long is it gonna be like this? Like, when you hurt yourself, nigga, you wondering, damn, when is this pain gonna stop? That's all you think about. But man, I really just, like, that right there, as it was happening, that was when the transition was happening. Like, it was just like, okay, damn. If I just wrote this song, I play it back to myself. Okay, if that's the case, then I need to move this way. I need to move like this. So it was definitely a wrapping that shit up, getting it going, bro, because I was done with it, bro. That summer was shit.
Yeah, help you make sense of everything.
Yeah.
Writing it down, rapping it, and all that help you make sense of everything that's going on in the moment. That's true. So this newest project, you said, it's it gives you that nostalgic feeling of like the Nas's and the Biggies, but it's your own spin to it.
Like it's straight like I would call my genre alternative hip hop.
Yeah.
Just because I don't necessarily like I could definitely, like I told you the other day, I can definitely hop on a trap beat and do some raunchy shit. But everybody and their mama doing that shit.
Yeah.
Like I'm sick of hearing about that shit. I'm sick of hearing about niggas with their guns and they switches and they bitches and whatnot. Like I'm sick of hearing that shit.
Facts.
And I'm bringing back like I consider myself an MC. When the last time you heard a nigga call himself an MC?
Shit, it's been a while.
Exactly. That's the point. Like don't get me wrong. I don't care about none of the glory that come with that shit. But I really truly believe I want to be the greatest rapper. Like I know, and I got years to go. But you know what I'm saying. I feel like some of the people that I feel like I want to be 3 Stacks one day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying. I feel like I want to be Kendrick one day. Just on the front, just like okay. I feel like I could use the English vocabulary better than you can. Like it's not on no, I'm trying to be a better nigga than you.
Yeah.
Nigga, we are the same person.
Yeah.
But nah, this whole EP is just straight like what rap was supposed to be. Like I'm bragging, I'm having a good ass day, and this why. Like niggas can't fuck with me, and this why.
Yeah.
But it's like it's called Images, just because it's through poetry, through rapping, through music, you can express imagery. But I feel like that's all this is. Like with it being so concise.
Paint a picture.
Yeah, I'm not just necessarily trying to take you to no ethereal place. I'm just trying to paint you a quick picture so you can get the point. And that's all it is.
Yeah, no, I always say, this is what I tell people. I say, the value of my life I don't deserve to live no more than any other person, right? So it's like, if we all lined up and you know, whatever the powers that be came down and said, who will I take? Who should die right now? I don't feel like, oh, I should stay. I don't feel like that. I don't feel like I'm better than anyone in that sense. But when it come down to like this life shit, it's a lot of niggas that can't hold a fucking counter to me. I'm better than you in that space. And what I mean is, if we talking about, you know, organizing, mobilizing, establishing certain things and getting goals or accomplishing goals, or, you know, or creating these goals and saying, hey, this is what I'm going to do moving forward. When it comes to those types of things, I'm just better.
Right.
And I'm intentional about being better in that space.
And I'm definitely talking my shit on this hoe. Just cause it's a lot of people who just like, they feel like since I ain't been in the game long enough for it, the fact that I don't got a team like they do, or you know what I'm saying, they ain't on the same tip or in the same crowd, like that don't mean shit, bro.
Yeah.
Have your numbers, dude. And I put this on my life. I don't care what nobody say. If Top Dog or Dreamville or hell PG Lane, whoever just came and picked me up, I guarantee you I'll be doing numbers, bro.
Yeah.
Simply just because like I just feel like it's a lot of bullshit, and even when I'm rapping about, you know, even when I'm not rapping on the trap beat, you can still like, damn, that whole slide.
Yeah.
Like, nigga got through. I just really feel like a lot of niggas open their mouth but don't be talking about shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, and I don't understand. And they, the niggas that hype them up, oh my God.
They even worse.
They worse, bro. They worse, bro.
Like, this nigga shit trash. You know it's trash.
Y'all in that junk. Yeah, fool. That junk bumping, bro. Send me that junk, fool.
Yeah, and talk about him with your bitch when you lay down with him.
Come on, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely be pillow talking.
Yeah. But regardless, though, man, like, shit, I think, no, you're right. You just need that machine. If you had that machine behind you, I mean, you got everything. You got the talent, you got the image and all of that. If you just had that machine, shit, you could do numbers.
But that's the thing, like, I don't care about promo neither. Like, it's just, like, even if I just post my shit on Instagram and just let that be that, like, I got enough people that's watching my story every day, or I got enough people that's just fucking with me off the strength just because I know them, that'll listen to it and just tap in and just be like, hey, fool, I listen to your junk. Even if they listen to it one time, man, I appreciate the listen, bro. Yeah. I worked hard on it, so I appreciate you, you know what I'm saying, giving your ear. I don't give a fuck about promo. Niggas get caught up in numbers. Niggas see numbers and they go left. Like, and I feel like a perfect example, Drizzy.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, that nigga talented as hell. He can do whatever the fuck you want to do and do it well. But the thing is, that nigga lost his hunger. Like me and my homie be talking about it all the time. Like, what was that, 2017 when he dropped If You're Reading This It's Too Late?
Yeah.
We said there was like the point where he lost his hunger, and instead of being a rapper turned celebrity, he was a celebrity. A celebrity that was a rapper.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, he just rap about rich shit now. But that nigga back then, he was like, damn, this nigga trying to be the hardest rapper out right now. That nigga Drake, I already know he is. So he just living in it. And I'm just like, bro, I ain't gonna ever lose that hunger for it, because them numbers don't mean shit to me. What people got to say about your music, like, none of that. Like,
but what you gotta do, you gotta find somebody who do care about them numbers. Though.
Oh, facts. That's why I just got a manager.
I seen in your bio. I seen in your bio. Who is that? That's somebody you know?
She actually from Jackson too. And she has her own podcast, and that's the crazy part about it. She was like doing a pre-interview with me, just seeing like what I was about, what I was on. And I think one of the last questions she asked me before we wrapped it up, she was like, so what do you want to do moving forward as far as your goals as an artist? And I said, well, right now, you know what I'm saying, I know I got it. I know I got the talent. It's just like I need more ears on it, to a point where it hits the right ears, and to where I'm at a point where I don't have to work no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can take care of my folks, you know, do what I want to do as far as, you know, reaching back out to my community, shit like that. So she on it. She was like, yeah, so I've managed a few things in my friends' lives before, like their businesses and whatnot. I've never managed an artist, but I'm always down to try. Bruh, I remember where the fuck I was freshman year, just trying, just doing shit. And like, already she on point. Like, we ain't been knowing each other but what, like 2.5 months, and she like one of my best friends now, but she keep me on point. And it's like, even if, cause she care about the numbers, she gonna tell me this what time you supposed, this is what time, or I think you supposed this on this day. Well, you need to show your face more. Exactly. Where you been at? Like, she be on it. So like, I really appreciate her. She like a rock. Cause I feel like that's what messed me up. I was raised around a lot of women. And with that being said, like, when you raised around women, they gonna have you straight. Like, but when niggas by themselves, it's almost like we forget certain shit, like the little shit that we need to know. So it's like she be putting me on games. So I be like, okay, bet.
Yeah. Nah, you need that. That's important. I think she'll take you a long way. Yeah, go ahead and what's her podcast?
Man, 2 and 3 podcasts.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. Miss Keandra Danielle. I forgot the other young lady's name, but they doing big shit. I really feel like y'all should collaborate one day. Just like
we had a plan
Roscoe
to.
And
we had a plan to. They were supposed to come on like a month ago, but some shit ended up coming up, and we had to cancel with them or whatever. We started doing like a different format, and it wouldn't have made sense to have another podcast on just yet. But we actually gonna get them on soon though. We've been I've been keeping an eye on them. You know, like I really be like I told you. You probably thought in the beginning, like, damn, these niggas bullshitting. I've been reaching out to these niggas. Like I really be tapped in. I was just telling the mother of my child the other day, because she was asking me, like, who you got on? You know, I was like, shit, we got Vinny on. She was like, that was the guy you was talking about. So I said, yep, that's him. That I was basically telling her, like, this nigga probably think we ain't fucking with him right now, but he don't even know I be checking for his shit every day. Like, I'm checking for your shit every day. What you doing? What you got going on? I'm like, who is this nigga right here? I'm checking for you every day. I'm always looking. I seen that's how I knew. I actually knew who was managing you too. I just want you to say it, because I seen it in your bio. You got it in your bio anyway. But I'm always shit like that, checking your bio, checking for music, what you doing next, what's going on, so on and so forth. That's just what I do. I don't necessarily see nobody as like no competition or no shit like that, but I like other creatives, and I'm like, all right, if you actually creating and you serious about creating, let me look for you.
You can tell.
And the moment I see, like, if you started to slack up, like if you had started to just like slack up and be bullshitting and it was noticeable to me, I would have wrote you the fuck off. I would like, I don't, but
because I do that. Like I have all my pictures posting music, then I just get in the mood, because I'll take everything down. Like just go dark for like weeks. And some people, like, I lose fans like that sometimes, but I don't care.
Yeah.
I lose followers like that. But
Well, I mean more specifically just the art. Like if I'm noticing, like you just put, like if you had started, putting out this trap shit, all this other shit, buying into the gimmick and shit, I'm like, I ain't fucking with that. You know, those are the parts I'm talking about. If you compromise your creativity, because I'm checking for people creativity all the time. I'm tapped, especially in this area. If you're around here and you doing creative shit, like I want you on the show. You know, I want you on the show, and it may not always be well, and that's why I tell people, like you were saying, like, man, can I come on the podcast? It's like, I'm not being an asshole or feeling like we better because we
know
don't.
your ass.
It's not even that, because I want to sit down and get to know you actually, but it's more so like, hey, bro, I got a fucking million things going on right now, and we probably got the next 3 months planned out. Let's see in another 3 months we can make the date, and if shit don't match up right or shit don't look right, then don't be upset with me. Just give me time, and I promise I'm gonna come back around to you or whatever, you know. And we did that, and I'm glad I got you on, man. It was good talking to you as well.
Hell yeah.
You got the project coming out.
Even for the live show. Yeah, I didn't expect y'all to hit me up for that.
Oh yeah, I knew I was gonna hit you up.
Smooth.
Yeah, I knew I was gonna hit you up.
I liked that. That was a nice little vibe. And yeah.
Yeah, and you know, we've been doing that shit for years now. Not like necessarily live shows, but for my birthday every year I do like a poetry. Well, last year I went to LA, but most times I do like poetry / not spoken word. It's poetry, music, like more like R&B style type music. I never really do the rappers like that.
That shit can definitely get out of hand.
Yeah, like it'll get like, it's like, bro, come on, what the fuck you doing? But like, I always do like singers and poets all the time. We've been doing that shit for years in that same format, just like that, free alcohol, all of that for years. It had got to a point to where on my birthday, leading up to my birthday, every month I would buy a bottle type shit, and I would have the bottle ready. That's what I did initially. I had stopped doing that a couple years back, but when I first started doing it, I buy a bottle every fucking month. And I had like 12 bottles ready for my birthday so we can provide the free alcohol type shit. But, you know, we don't have to do that no more here. We actually get money now. So motherfucker don't have to do all that no more. We don't have to split it up. Like, so, yeah, man. But we've been doing that shit, and it's always vibes. It's always 40, 50 people show up. My one show for my To Be Human book release, shit, we had like 250 people show up for the book release. I ended up selling like 1,000 copies of that book in the first week type shit.
That's legit.
Yeah, like it was a good high for me or whatever. But like I said, man, you got the EP. Well, is it EP album?
Yeah, it's an EP. And then the first song, the title. Well, it's not the title track, but it's a video coming with it. Shot by my homie B9 from the M. Man, just surreal videographer, bruh.
Oh yeah, he killed it.
Just a cool ass nigga too, bruh. Like when I tell you, when we recorded the video, it didn't like, we ain't never met before then. It was like we was already acquainted. Like, well, he went to my alumnus, so it was already love out the strength. But it was like I ain't had no problem. Like every time I go back and look at the take he just took, I'm like, damn, that shit hard.
Yeah.
So
that junk you did with Dolph, he did that, right?
Man, nah, my homie John Lane did that.
That nigga tough too.
Murfreesboro. Ah, yeah, John go crazy.
That shit
John
was
go
tough.
Crazy. He just
I fuck
shot
with that video.
One of my homies' videos too, Tokyo. We got plenty more shit coming too, man.
Well, yeah, man, it was good having you on, man. It was good having you on.
Man,
Thank you for coming on.
I appreciate the opportunity, cause man, like I said, like a lot of black people, they get around doing shit like this or find a little success, and they don't want to break bread off. You know what I'm saying? So just giving people a platform to speak their mind. That's definitely something that's needed for sure, especially in the black community. You know what I'm saying? I know it ain't just been straight black folks on here, but you know what I'm saying? This
for the most part, we had one white dude.
I saw him. Was he like one of the music men at the joint? Yeah, he cold.
Yeah, he good with the guitar and shit. Brett, shout out Brett. He was the only white guy. Might be the last.
Yeah, though, man. I appreciate the opportunity for sure.
Yeah.
Tell Roscoe I said what's up too.
Definitely. I'll let him know. Look, check this out. This is the ChoppedByT podcast where we get real, raw, authentic conversations. Until next time.